up, good people? What it is, what it do? It is your boy Casey, and I am back with another reaction. And today we got some WWE content for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. You already know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, react with Casey, and I will always be back with more reactions. So try not to laugh without no more hesitation. We're gonna jump right into this thing. So grab you a snack, kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's watch, shall we? And action.
And one of the elements to fully enjoy wrestling is suspending your disbelief while watching the product. Although pro wrestling is loved worldwide, there are certain things about wrestling that simply make no sense at all and defy all reasonable logic. But what are they? Well, join us now as WrestleLamia looks at 10 things WWE wrestlers do that make no sense. But be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists.
WrestleLamia.
Number 10. Distracted by music. One of the most criticized tropes of modern wrestling, in particular WWE, is the fact that a wrestler is always distracted by their rival's theme music. This occurs when a wrestler is in the middle of a match and suddenly their rival's theme music will hit.
That look on Booker T's, right?
And a wrestler will be so distracted by the music that they will lose all focus in the match. This usually leads them to losing it via roll-up, and this has been a WWE staple for the past 3 decades.
That's true.
I mean, does every wrestler have a short attention span? Well, the kayfabe answer to this trope is perhaps a wrestler who is getting distracted is also so consumed by their hatred for their rival that when they hear that music, they have to stop whatever they're doing in case their rival appears. But still, why should this work for every wrestler? Number 9, they don't steal seemingly deadly finishing moves. It's only when you can actually think about certain moves do you question the legitimacy for them. For instance, the People's Elbow. What makes The Rock's trademark finisher more effective than a standard elbow drop? There's virtually no difference other than the fanfare involved. The same goes for Hulk Hogan's leg drop. What makes that move different from a standard leg drop? A normal leg drop never seems to win a match, other than when Hogan uses the move as his finisher. Why is that the case? Also, that leads to the question, if certain finishing moves such as a People's Elbow, John Cena's Attitude Adjustment, or even Randy Orton's RKO are so credible, why doesn't every wrestler on the WWE roster use them as their finisher? It's as if certain wrestlers have copyright on their finishing moves
because it'd be boring. It'd be boring if you saw half the wrestlers using the RKO. It would be boring if you saw half the wrestlers using the Attitude Adjustment. It would be boring. Like, you got to come up with your own.
Being duplicated, but this has never been addressed on WWE programming.
Number
8, the Irish Whip. The Irish Whip is a move which is used in every single wrestling match, but it makes little sense. The move involves the wrestler being thrown into the ropes and they will run back at their opponent. But why? Why does the wrestler run? Why don't they just fall down at the velocity of the whip itself? Now perhaps the kayfabe answer to this is that a wrestler may be able to get some momentum and perform a move when springboarding off the ropes. But the stamina it takes to do this multiple times in a single match makes the move seem completely pointless. Number 7, the no-sell. One of the biggest features of a John Cena match is the fact that he'll perform multiple shoulder blocks. Traditionally, the first time he will use a shoulder block in the match, the wrestler will completely no-sell the move and pop back up, only to be slammed down by Cena again. The question here is, why would the wrestler instantly pop back up? If the move hurts, why are they not waiting on the mat for a breather? The same could be said for quick sequences in a match. Moves such as a clothesline are usually no-sold, and the wrestler, similarly to how they react when hit with a shoulder block, will immediately pop back up. This makes no sense whatsoever. Number 6, the inability to climb ladders. Now, there have been some legendary ladder matches throughout WWE history.
Oh man, they take forever to climb a ladder. Oh my jeez. They act like
from Money in the Bank matches to Shawn Michaels vs Razor Ramon to Triple H vs The Rock and even the iconic TLC matches featuring the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian. All of these were acclaimed matches, but even they had an element in them which defied all logic. The issue with the ladder match is simple. Why do wrestlers struggle to climb the ladder? Wrestlers, when climbing the ladder, go extremely slow as if they're going in slow motion, and this has been the case in all ladder matches, particularly those in WWE. On a few occasions, we've seen wrestlers climb a ladder extremely slowly,
but then they're climbing extremely fast.
May I offer a rich and smooth way to make all them other holidays green with envy?
only to run the ropes later on. Number 5, a lack of urgency to win a cage match. Now, the cage match is one of the most popular matches that WWE produces, but there's been one thing that has confused fans since the very early cage matches took place in WWE. And most cage matches have the stipulation that the match can be won by either pinfall, submission, or escape from the cage. This escape can come from either escaping over the top of the cage or simply walking out of the cage door. However, when a
I would love to see a cage match where there's a wrestler on each side of the ring, and as soon as the bell rings, he just opens the gate and walks out. I would die laughing at that with his hands up. Oh man.
cage match takes place, the match lacks any form of common sense. There should be a sense of urgency in escaping the cage itself, and the easiest way to do this is to simply going out of the
Just
cage
like that.
door.
That'd be
Take
fun-
for instance
that'd be
when a
funny.
superstar in the match begins to escape the cage by climbing the cage itself. If their opponent simply ran to the cage door and jumped out, they would win the match, but this kinda rarely happens. Number 4. Waiting to be hit by a dive. A popular criticism towards modern day pro wrestling is the overuse of dives to the outside. A lot of fans feel like the move is used far too much, and the criticism is often directed at the move being flawed. The flaw comes in the fact that the person about to be hit by the dive always seems to stand and awkwardly wait to be hit.
Yeah.
Why don't they just move?
Yeah.
Why don't they allow themselves to be hit with a move of that nature? There are a number of wrestlers who try to sell into the dive, and this means that they will sell their exhaustion just before the diving. This gives them about 2 to 3 seconds to actually safely catch the wrestler executing the move. Although the move is criticized by fans, the move has never been more popular with wrestlers themselves, and it looks like the move is slowly becoming just a standard wrestling move, similar to a clothesline or even a body slam. Number 3, sticking
I
to
don't like
PG
that.
guidelines.
Don't like that.
Although before 2008, it was common practice to see chair shots to the head and other obscene violence, but when WWE transitioned into a PG product, this all changed. In modern hardcore matches in WWE, the violence is rather timid, but this makes no sense from a logical point of view. If anything goes in a no DQ or hardcore match, why don't wrestlers perform chair shots to the head or other sinister things such as flaming table spots or even thumbtacks? No DQ matches are usually reserved for heated rivalries, and if the two wrestlers really hate each other, shouldn't they be doing everything in their power to hurt each other? It's as if they signed a secret contract that they would never perform anything in a match that breaches PG guidelines, but this has never been addressed to the
Probably.
WWE
It
fans
probably isn't
directly. Number 2, cooperate with every single move. And one of the biggest things about pro wrestling that is completely flawed is the fact that with certain moves you can see wrestlers cooperating. This doesn't mean from time to
Yeah,
time you can hear
yeah,
wrestlers talking in
definitely
the
see
ring.
that.
This can be explained with wrestlers simply talking trash to their opponent. It means that you can actually see a wrestler helping their opponent pull off moves safely.
Yeah.
For instance, when a wrestler performs a top rope
They'll
move,
get
the
in
wrestler
place. They'll
taking the
get
move
in
will always
place.
make sure they're in the right position.
Yeah.
This sometimes even involves them moving closer to the wrestler just in case they miss. In kayfabe, why does this take place? Shouldn't the wrestler be selling on the mat rather than shifting into position? Certain moves such as Alberto Del Rio's stomp rely on the opponent to actually hold onto the ropes whilst Del Rio performs the move, meaning
Yeah,
it looks
that's
absolutely terrible and
terrible.
completely brings fans back to the reality of what they're actually watching.
terrible.
And number 1, taunts. Taunts are one of the biggest features of pro wrestling, but do they actually make sense? Some of the most iconic taunts in WWE history have included John
You
Cena
can't
performing the
see
"You
me."
Can't See Me" taunt before hitting the 5-knuckle shuffle, Scotty 2 Hotty performing
The
a dance routine
yes,
before hitting a
the
basic
worm.
chop to the grounded opponent, or even The Rock's elbow pad removal before performing the People's Elbow. Do these taunts make
I don't like The Rock looking at me like that. I feel like he made me feel like I stole his 13,000 stack of pancakes before he went to the gym. I don't like him looking at me like that.
the moves more effective? Not really. All they do is allow the crowd to pop, but wouldn't it be easier to hit the move as quickly as possible to end the match whilst the opponent is down and seemingly hurt? Although these taunts can give certain wrestlers more character and depth, it doesn't mean that their lack of logic can't be addressed. But there you have it, folks, 10 things wrestlers do that makes no sense.
All right, there you have it, folks. As he said, 10 things wrestlers do that make no sense at all while they're in the ring. If you like the video, you already know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, react with Casey. Let me know in the comments down below if he missed anything that you also feel like is over exaggeration or just make no sense at all while they're in the ring. I would like to hear your comments on what you also think those are. It is your boy React with Casey, and I will be back with another reaction or try not to laugh, so stay tuned. Peace.